videographer is like, this is gonna be a long ass story, but he knows how to edit, so this is what I paid him for. Hey YouTube, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, the topic of discussion is, what does your pussy attract? How did this even become a topic of discussion? I've been through a series of emotional events within the past couple of weeks that led me to this topic. So, Cinco de Mayo, I kicked my nigga out. It's not even a relationship, it's called a nigga-ship. We were in this nigga-ship for 2 years, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do me this weekend. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna have a good time, I'm not gonna stress about him. Instead of crying, which is my normal go-to when I end a nigga-ship. So I have an associate that's a club promoter, and he's always tagging me in club promotion flyers that he posts on social media. And normally I just ignore him, per usual. But I was like, no, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna step out. And I went out by myself, which is something that I've never done that before. I got in VIP, and there was a celebrity in town. I was at his table. I don't drink, so I had hookah. And I made like 5 new friends. Hey girls, we still on for hot yoga. So while I was at the table, obviously looking cute, per usual, being fabulous, this guy comes and stands next to me. I'm assuming he's friends with my party promoter associate. He stands next to me, and I can see him look me up and down, but he doesn't say anything to me. So I just ignore him, and then finally I mentioned something about his belt. I'm like, oh, you have a really nice belt. It was like a Louis Vuitton belt or some type of brand name. He was like, yeah, you know, when I go out, all these hoes out here only want me because they see how much money I have. They're all gold diggers. So I was like, all right, you know, I can understand how you might feel that way. So I was like, I'm not gonna talk to him anymore because I don't want him to think I'm a gold digger. And I thought that was kind of like cocky of him. Then he was still at the table. He was like, I'm gonna buy a bottle. So he buys a bottle, which then I was like, well, you know, you're purposely trying to attract gold diggers if that's what you're leading with. And after that, we went to another club, and that club was lit. I had a lot of fun. I didn't get home till like 2, and I went to work the next morning, and you know, I had a good time. So then, roll around next week, I get my hair braided, so I needed a new look. And then I met this really cool chick who's going through a divorce, and I was like, you know what, let's go out. Let's both go out and have a good time. I'm on a roll here, you know. On Mother's Day, so it was a couple days later, I get a direct message from the guy that I met 2 weeks ago and then had saw the night before. And he was just like, I see that, you know, your mother died. My mom died 24 years ago. And I was like, well, my mom didn't die, my grandmother died. I went to go visit her grave on Mother's Day. So I think he assumed that it was my mom, but then, you know, he said his mom died 24 years ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. And then I was like, are you attracted to me or something? Because I think you are. I felt like you were attracted to me initially, but you were too busy trying to come off as like, I don't even know what. Oh, and then when I ran into him in the club the night before, he mentioned that he always watches my Instagram page. So I'm like, you're obviously checking for me. And he was like, I don't know what would make you think that I'm attracted to you, but if you're attracted to me, you could come lay in the bed with me right now. What? Like, you're not attracted to me, but you want me to come lay in the bed with you. Well, listen, I don't know if you're just shy and you're trying to come off as cool and you want to like give that vibe, but when you're interested in like actually taking me out on a date like a normal person, then hit me up. He sends me another message on Instagram, which I knew he was going to do because he's attracted to me. He was like, how could you curse me out on Sunday? And I was like, I thought we had a delightful conversation. It wasn't that deep. He sends me a message and is like, call me, with his phone number. So of course then I was like, no, you call me. Because what do I look like blowing up your phone? I'm not her. So I sent him my number. Of course he waits the average 30 minutes to call because you're supposed to wait. You don't want to seem too thirsty. I like to let people get what they need to off their chest. You know, obviously he's got something to get off his chest. So I'm letting him vent about how horrible women are. He finally decides to ask me about myself to get to know me. And he's like, where's your man at? Which, guys, don't say that. That's so weird. You guys always ask, where is your man at and why are you single? Those are two of the weirdest questions in the world. Like, how do you answer that? I tell him about how I ended my situationship 4 or 5 days ago. And he was like, oh, well, your old dude sounds like a bum N-word. I said, you know, he probably is. So then he says to me, maybe your pussy attracts bums. And I was like taken back because I was like, are you attracting bums? Like, what the fuck's going on? I had to have a conversation with my pussy. And I'm like, maybe she is. Maybe she is out here cutting up and attracting bum after bum. People living with me, ain't got places to stay, ain't got jobs, ain't taking care of their kids. Of course, I had to do further research on this matter because I can't be the only one whose pussy is attracting bums. You know, I see a lot of girls out here with bums. I need to know, what is the difference between a woman's pussy who attracts bums and a woman's pussy who attracts quality men that are not bums? Is she doing Kegel exercises? Is she meditating? Does she drink a lot of water? So I decided to reach out to a couple of the sorry men that I know in my life and ask their opinion. And I'm calling you guys sorry because you guys know you're full of shit. I asked my friend, the guy that is a party promoter, and I'm like, hey, I talked to your friend that I met at the club. He's a little bit out of control, but he did mention something to me that I just wanted to run past you and see your opinion on. I said, do you think that my pussy could be attracting bum dude? And he was like, well, he may have a point. You're supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to tell me, no, there's nothing wrong with your vagina. You're perfectly fine the way that you are. Lift a bitch up. I said, okay, can you elaborate? Because I need a better understanding. So he explained to me the qualities that he likes in women. He likes his woman to be modest and natural. No fake hair, no fake nail, not a lot of makeup. Someone that is going to be a good role model for his girls. And that is what attracted him to his woman. She encompasses all of these qualities. And he said, and not only that, not only is she Erykah Badu, but they hardly argue. And when they do, it's a disagreement. I have a couple of things I would like to point out about his perspective. One, she is beautiful, but she's also biracial. So it's real easy to be natural when you can comb your hair through. While I'm not saying that being biracial means you're less black, but I am saying that there's a difference between having 3C curls and 4A curls, okay? This same gentleman regularly sends me messages asking me for images and videos of my TNA and P and whatever he can get. So while he got Erica Badu at home, reading their astrological chart and planting organic plants and raising his children, he's also out here in these streets cutting up. So then I messaged another friend. This one has got his stuff a little bit more together. He's a little bit more, I would say, a classier gentleman. He works in marketing. He's had the same job for about 7-8 years, has his degree. He's on paper the type of black dude that you want to date because he made something out of himself. He has like this much hood in him. He was like, well, it's not about your pussy. It's about your mind. You are what you attract, which is something I see quoted a lot of times on Instagram. And if you are confident, you attract confidence. What the fuck does that mean? I feel like he read act like a woman, think like a man. I didn't really care for that answer. That was a textbook answer. Then I started to think, okay, maybe I need to talk to some women about their perspective. Because when you tell a man that you're interviewing him, they're gonna tell you what is the politically correct answer. Let me tell you something, I've never met a stripper that had a shortage of men in her life. But I have met plenty of girls with master degrees that cannot find them nothing to do at all. I'm seeing girls that cannot get their lives together. They keep them something to do though. My sister, she ain't had a job a day in her life. She just got married last week. God bless her. I love her. So I spoke with my friend Kelsey, and she was like,
I attract a lot of married men, and I attract a lot of men that are in relationships. I don't know why. I don't have it stamped on my forehead, but
which she has been a series of relationships or situationships with men, like full on situationships, where they're sending her money, they're taking her on vacations. The other day, or a couple weeks ago, she went and got a new car, and the car salesman who is married was attracted to her. It's like she is a magnet for married men. She isn't a hoochie. She doesn't go out at all. Not that going out makes you a hoochie, because I do. I'm a hoochie. But there are other people that go out that are not hoochies, you know? But she does repeatedly attract these men who are engaged or married or emotionally unavailable. So we took a smoke break, which I don't smoke, but for the purposes of this video, I went with her to the smoking section, and I had to ask her why she thought she attracts these type of men. And the conclusion was, we don't know. We don't know. Then I talked to another lady I worked with. She's older, beautiful though. I mean bad, okay? Like when I get to that age, I better look that good. Shout out to Elaine, you look good, girl. And she was like, I honestly don't know what it is either. She's like, I took care of my ex-husband, but my sister can call a man and say, send me $1,000, and she'll have money sent to her immediately. So, well, your sister need to write a book or tell me or something. So I kept thinking, and I kept thinking, because I'm like, what is it? What is the difference? Is it the luck of the draw? You know, my brain is like really hurting because I usually don't do this much thinking. I want you guys to comment and comment below. Why do certain women attract certain men? I don't know what attracts what, but I do know that as of right now, I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I feel like doing. You might see the picture of me with my ass out, followed by a picture 12 hours later with me at sunrise service. I mean, I'm just going to live like my authentic life, because I don't feel like there's an algorithm. I don't feel like there is a method, but please comment below and enlighten me, because the same guy that was talking so highly of his girlfriend is probably gonna text me later on tonight. So that's the end of my video. Don't forget to subscribe. I need you guys to subscribe so that I can continue to have enough money to pay for these professionally shot videos. Thank you. See you soon.